not working for some reason. I had it muted before, but I unmuted it and it didn't actually unmute, it seems. I had it muted before, but so there we go. Right, and that's all good. So hi, we're gonna do Elite today. Carry on with the White Dwarf survey that we started last time. So yeah, just getting everything set up properly now. Why is Twitch being an ass? Come on. Don't tell me that I'm offline when I'm not offline. I know I'm online. There we go. Right. Okay. That is good. So one more little note to send. And we can get on our way. There we go, and stick that out there. Right. So, yeah, just gonna fire up the program and we can get going. Yeah, if you noticed, I have posted a couple of little videos over the week that I found some interesting stuff. Yeah, so check them out, they're pretty cool. Meanwhile, I'll finish my tea. Right, and I gotta reorder this point. There we are, right. Some adjustments are in order, because, you know, pro streamer, etc. Now, let's get going. So, first thing, actually, I wanted to show was where I am. And if you keep an eye on things, you can see something that has been really annoying me, especially lately. So, I'll fire this up. And hopefully it can show what's going on. Spinny ass, blah blah. So look, it's dark, it's glorious, like the sun is down. You know, it's nice and dark and realistic and amazing. It's great. And then, the hell is this? Brown and murky nonsense lighting everything up. I hate this so much. It's really been annoying me lately, because there's so many nice scenes that are ruined by this. And this is actually the kind of the sky glow. It's the light from the Milky Way up here, which is overemphasized. So it's overemphasized in the sky as well, and then that kind of amplified sky glow is, you know, bathing everything in this sort of yucky brown light to the point where there's basically no shadow, you know, apart from like the little nooks and crannies that are actually hidden from the sky glow. And I hate it. I hate it so much. It's ruined many screenshots. It's completely unrealistic, and it's completely unnecessary, and we can't control it. God knows I've tried. I've tried even digging into the graphics configuration XML config file, and there is a code block in there that should control this, but it doesn't. Like anything you change in there does not affect what you see in the game. So that's really irritating. I mean, unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about it until Frontier actually even acknowledge that it's an issue, because it's been raised many times in the bug forums and things, and they've done absolutely nothing. It's very annoying. I mean, all I want is a way to control this and limit it, but you know, they're, like I said, they're not acknowledging it's even an issue. So, with that rant out of the way, where am I? I am still in the Kylo Asli sector, and you'll note that lighting disappears before you turn the maps on. I am on the third moon of this rather non-spherical gas giant, which is a rapid rotator. I haven't actually checked what its orbital, what its rotational period is. I should have a look at that. It's less than, usually if it's less than half a day, the planet will look squished in the system map, at least. So let's have a look. What is it? Exporting the data from my EG Discovery, and that will be one of the last ones here. 3. It is 4702 seconds, which is 40702 over 86400, 0.47 days, 11.3 hour rotation period. So there we go. And we can see one of the moons is up, that little black dot near the 100 on the screen there. So let's go and have a look. There was actually another planet I was going to look at here, another system. But this is one of the ice canyons on this moon, which are pretty impressive. We should see the gas giant popping up above the horizon soon. It was kind of about here. But yeah, look at this brown crap everywhere. Like, this moon is actually kind of yellow and blue. Maastrichtian. Hello. I have seen you around. Nice of you to pop in. Yeah, there's just a Elite Dangerous Exploration stream, which is now, it's actually unusual for a Saturday, because I usually play other games on Saturdays, but I have
landing gear retracted.
What am I doing? Which button? Fingers. Hello. There we go. Yeah, I have sort of stopped doing the streams on Tuesday evenings now, because they were just, you know, tired at the end of the workday. So I'm doing a mixture of things now on Saturday, and we're just about to catch a very eclipsed gas giant. But yeah, this moon is yellow and blue. You wouldn't know it though, because look at it, it's just brown. So here's our gas giant. You can see it's quite non-spherical because of its fast rotation period, which is why I stopped off here in the first place. Yeah, look at this. This is horrible. So the sun is somewhere over here then, I would imagine. see what happens. Yeah, it is a lot of work. You know, like the time it takes to play most games is what you need to basically get started in this one. Yeah, you can start seeing some of the colour poking through here. Yup. Yeah, I do remember that. I remember a couple of the planetary classification list things actually. But yeah, I do recognise your name. It's nice of you to pop in. There you go. Here, look, it's blue. You can see on the you pass by on the left. There is definitely kind of yellowy, creamy colour, blue colour, not brown, murky nonsense. So yeah, that's the lighting for you. Is Celestia even still going? I kind of checked in every now and then, and it seemed to. I know there seemed to have been some schisms, and nobody seemed to be really developing it anymore. But I haven't used it for ages, to be honest. Celestia, or anyone else watching it, is a sort of space engine-y type thing, solar system or stellar system type simulator thing that you can fly around, kind of like this, but not really a game. It's just a flying around and doing, you know, seeing sights, which is ironically what I'm doing in this game. But yeah, it was quite decent for a free program, and then it just sort of stopped. I think some people basically kind of hijacked it, you know, and the developer stopped really developing it from what I saw. But yeah, it looked like the main developer guy just sort of fizzled out his interest, and then some other people took over and basically moved it in completely the wrong direction as far as I was concerned. So I gave up on it. And honestly, I think, you know, Space Engine has far surpassed it anyway. I mean, Space Engine far surpasses Elite, to be honest, in terms of how it represents the world or the universe. The lighting is a lot better. I think you can have multiple lighting in Space Engine. But Elite is what it is. I can't complain too much because I've put how many hours have I even put into this game so far? Let's have a look. I am on 701 hours, which in itself is peanuts compared to quite a lot of people. So I'm just heading to this gas giant, by the way, because there's a close moon. But yeah, Space Engine is really, really good. I should actually have a look at it again. I've got it. I don't know if they've upgraded the versions. They probably have since I last played it. So, but they don't have. Well, I think they do have a spaceship view in it, but it's last time I looked, it wasn't very good. But this is the game. You know, there's more kind of gameplay in this one, I suppose, than just exploring for its own sake. Maybe, I don't know. I don't really think about it. There's not an awful lot of difference between what I'm actually doing and what Space Engine is, but it's a different kind of experience. So I have been topic. I have been recently finding a lot of moons that are very close to the rings of gas giants. This one is actually quite far out, all things considered. Unfortunately, you can't really tell beforehand. What I usually do is look at the system map when I arrive, look at the innermost moons, and look at the when it says like the orbital period up there. So that one's 2.2 days, so that's going to be quite far out. If it's within 1 day, like this one is, where are we? The orbital period is 0.8 days. Like this one, it's going to be close to the rings. And I found one the other day that I posted. I actually did a very quick stream on earlier in the week. That was literally the distance between the edge of the ring and the surface of the moon was half the moon's radius, so 1,000 kilometers. And it was basically a Titan-sized moon, which of course is completely unrealistic, because if the moon's that big, that close to the rings, it would just disrupt the whole rings, and it wouldn't happen. But the other cool thing about these close moon systems is that usually the next one out, or the next moons out, are quite close as well, so you get these kind of double moon in the sky kind of pictures. But that's actually the C moon, not the B moon. So the B moon is somewhere, the next moon out is actually somewhere else. In here, it's probably on the other side of the gas giant or something. But what was I going to say? Like in here, there's no gravitational things going on at all, so there's no resonances, re-interactions, or any other fun things like that. They can't even get the lighting right, for God's sake, so getting the gravity incorporated into the game is probably asking a little much. But yeah, the first system that I encountered this week, that there's a video of on the Twitch and on the YouTube, that moon, you could actually, it was best if I actually went into the ring system right next to the moon, and you can actually see the thing moving past you then, and it's kind of moving at this kind of rate, and it just looked amazing. So I do encourage you to take a look at that video after the stream, and have a look at that. And I also found another system where it had also a close moon that was a bit further out, more like 2 radii out, and that looked really good. It's just a 30-second video, but I was over the rings, and I was close enough to the rings that you can start seeing a bit of like waviness in them, and it looked like the video looked like there's like fog rolling by, and then these 2 big moons in the background, because it was like this sort of situation. You can see a further moon, so that was pretty neat. So yeah, that's a tip for finding some nice views anyway. And these are all white dwarf systems as well, because I am currently doing this, which I should get going because it will plot the distances. So I'm basically, where am I? There is Colonia, there's the Peng Nebula, and I am sort of heading this way, out from Peng. I'm kind of heading in this vague direction to this nebula, and then I'm gonna basically swing by around here and kind of go down here and probably go to the rim if I can, and head back to the bubble that way. So unfortunately the other side of the galaxy over here is for another time, I feel. I've got this part of the um, um, journey here going back is going to be the riskiest, because when I was heading out towards Colonia, which I'll go back to here, when I was heading out towards Colonia, as you can see with this ridiculous number of bookmarks, which I'm really going to have to just delete at some point, because we only have 100 bookmarks and most of them are in here. But the trip out from the bubble, there's pit stop stations along here. There's like 5 or 6 stations that are about 5,000 light years apart that you can stop off and get repairs and so on. Out here, there is nothing. So there are no repairs. If anything goes wrong with my ship, I am stuck with that basically. I've got some repair systems on here. I've got the AFMU, which is a field maintenance unit which can repair my modules, but I can't repair the hull, and if the hull goes down then I'm dead. And at the moment I've already taken a teeny bit of damage. It's 95% at the bottom right there, just from being a bit careless, so I'll have to watch that. The irony is, in the next patch they are going to introduce hull repair limpets, but there is nowhere for me to buy them from when I'm out in the boonies. So you can see here I have 77 jumps to Kylo Asley TFFD 11277, which is the the system that I have just decided I'm going to head towards. The reason there's 77 jumps is that I'm doing this on economical route plotting, which is what happened there? There we go. Economical route plotting, which is basically kind of pick the closest systems that you can go to in an attempt to basically try and get as far as you can on one fuel tank. And the reason I'm doing that is just because I have selected basically white dwarfs and other interesting things only to plot the route with. And I'm on a layer, this is another unrealistic thing. There is a layer of white dwarfs and neutron stars that is about 1,000 to 1,500 light years below the galactic plane. And it goes throughout the whole galaxy. So I'm in this layer and I'm just plotting white dwarfs, and I am heading, in this direction, that way basically. So if there are carbon stars or wolf rayets or anything else like that in the neighborhood, then it might pick up on them. They might be on the route. I'd have to sort of stop and look every now and then basically and see if there are any. But most of these are going to be white dwarfs. And the reason for that is that white dwarf systems are really quite interesting. And if I do actually need fuel, I can pop over and to a nearby system and just fill up anyway. So what happens if I die? Well, your ship blows up. You end up either ideally you end up back in the last station you docked at, and your insurance is paid off. If you've insured the ship, then you basically get your ship back in its entirety with everything on it, except the exploration data that you had. So all of that would be lost, and I think cargo and stuff is lost as well. But blowing up would be bad because exploration data is valuable. As I go around, I'm scanning all the systems and planets, and that's worth money. And then when I go to a station, I can hand all that stuff in, and then it will A, increase my bank account, and B, increase my rating. And my rating at the moment, my rank, you can see on the left there, I'm Explorer rank Pioneer 43%, and that is one off from Elite. And to get to Elite, which is the top rank of the game, you basically have to earn a certain amount of money to go up the ranks from exploring, and I think you have to earn many hundreds of millions or something to go from Pioneer to Elite. So, but that doesn't change until I actually hand in the data. So by the time I get back to the bubble, I should definitely have enough money to get back up to Elite, assuming I haven't blown up in the meantime. So I haven't blown up on an exploration trip yet, and I don't intend to, so we'll see what happens.
Frameshift drive charging.
So I am going to head off to the next system, and we'll see what we can see. And that's basically it for, I mean, that's what exploring is. You just
4,
roll the dice,
2,
essentially, and see what you end up with, because no one's been out here before. And if you want to get right technical with it, this is basically a loading screen. This is a white dwarf star, and which is another reason why I am visiting them a lot, because they're really cool. So this is a white dwarf. We are 4.39 light seconds from it. Light seconds being the measurement unit used mostly in the game. 300,000 kilometers is 1 light second. Yeah, the usual thing is that I boost in, it says unexplored, I target it, it scans it, and then once it's scanned, that means I have got the data for the star. So I think white dwarf scans are worth like 40,000 credits or something. So when I go and hand that in, I will get 40,000 credits. And being the first person to discover it, I hope, yes, like it would say first discovered by somebody if it was previously discovered, but it is not. So being the first person to discover it, I will also get a bonus, which is I think half the value of the data. First discovery bonus. And then next time somebody comes out here, after I've handed the data in, it will say Kylo Rasley MXU D268A discovered by first discovered by Malenfant, which is my commander name. So yeah, and if I don't bother to pop over to the other stars here because they're bloody far away, then these will remain unexplored until somebody else goes to look at them. There is an L dwarf nearby though, which I can locate by looking around. So it's over here. So I could just not move at all and sit here and scan that one and get the money for that. But L dwarfs are not very valuable. They're only about 4,000. Yes, habitable worlds are very lucrative. Earthlikes are, I can't remember the number exactly, I think they're 600,000 credits. Water worlds are 400,000 credits. And terraformables are about 400,000 as well. And terraformable water worlds are 600,000 or 700,000. And you wouldn't expect habitable worlds in white dwarf and neutron star systems, but they do pop up in Elite because it's not entirely realistic. But they're rare in those systems. They usually hang around, they're usually found in like, A, F, G, K, M systems, basically. So we've got both of these, and when you discover a star or a planet, it will give you more info. Like I haven't discovered this one, and it only gives me basic stuff. And having scanned that one, I know that it is a 18 Jupiter mass L dwarf, and so on. Again, not very realistic. This system is 13 billion years old, and there's an L dwarf, which is very unlikely. Because by that time they should have all cooled down into white dwarfs, which is not even that one. Like there's there's the white dwarfs as well, which are even cooler. But yeah, 13 billion years old. Like unless that somehow formed in the last billion years by some other means, That should be a cold, dead gas giant. There is no life. Well, you can't find life on planets. I mean, there clearly is life there. Like, you know, you can look at an Earth-like world and go, oh, that's green and blue, so there's plants and stuff. But A, you can't land on them because they haven't done that yet. And B, yeah, there's no sort of microbial life or anything like that to be detected beyond the description. Like, you know, it might say these worlds can support life or something, but it, you know, you can't actually go, oh, I've detected microbial life anywhere. It's not a thing. The only planets you can land on in this game are basically airless planets, like planets that don't have atmospheres. Atmospheric landings are coming soon, TM, but they're not. You know, they're a way off, basically. They are definitely part of the plan. They do want to do it, but they haven't figured out a way to do that yet. Development in this game is pretty slow, to be honest.
Frameshift drive charging.
You know, they also want to have people looking around, like walking around and doing all that stuff. I don't know why. I think it's completely and utterly pointless. But yeah, they want to throw that in as well.
3, 2, 1, engage.
But there are, having said there are no, you know, there's not much you can do with life here. There are aliens. The recent thing that they have added is, well, they've slowly been building up to, are the Thargoids. Because the Thargoids were the original aliens in this game when it came out in the 80s. Because it's an old game, this, or it's the development of an old game. The Thargoids were the aliens that were around in the 80s. They are an advanced technological civilization with spaceships and everything. Recently they have added a whole bunch of well, they're basically like Thargoid bases or settlements or something, and there's this gigantic puzzle type thing going on with them where you can pick up items that you find in other systems, like alien, you know, unknown alien items floating around, and you drop them off at these bases, which look amazing, and something happens, and you get a kind of signal that you then have to decode, and you literally have to do this like it's like those augmented reality games. You literally have to do this by actually opening up the sound file in a sound editor and doing a spectrograph of it, and you see a picture in the sound and stuff, and the picture is a map of nearby systems and things, and it's ridiculous. And they basically, there's a bunch of people in the game who have got together and brainstormed this all out, and they found 208 systems, I think, isn't it? 208 or something like that, where they found these bases, and they all link to each other, and it's basically sort of showing this sort of sphere of alien expansion. And it's all very fascinating, and the aliens themselves look amazing. Like, we haven't seen the aliens, but we've seen the ships, and the ships are all these sort of weird, flowery, organic-looking things. So I'd encourage you to go and have a look at Thargoids, and look at a video or two of those, because they're pretty spectacular. I have never seen one myself because I am about 25,000 light years away from all that stuff. But yeah, there are aliens in the game, and they are quite impressive. So the next patch that they're going to do is called the Return, and that's when they're coming back. Basically, we've seen all our interactions with them so far has been we're hyperspacing along, and then they pull us out of hyperspace, pop up. You know, they shut our ship down, they pop up, and then they scan us, and then they bugger off. And then that escalated to, oh, now we found the bases, and then they're pulling, they're interdicting people at the bases now, so you have people driving out of the bases in their rovers, and then this alien ship suddenly comes down and scans them and then buggers off again. But that's all we've seen of them. And we've seen there's some Federation ships, like there's some factions in this game, and the Federation has been very proactive about covering up Thargoids. There's been some places where people have found like Federation battleships that are floating in space on fire with weird alien kind of burn marks on them and stuff. And maybe a Thargoid ship just sort of wandering away in the background, having dealt with all these massive battle cruisers single-handedly. But that's the only hostile thing they've done so far. But historically, there was a war between humans and Thargoids, so they're probably going to be hostile. But we don't know. It may be on a case-by-case basis. It may be that some people are going to deliberately be aggressive to them and start wars or something. We don't know what's going on yet. But the next patch is going to be interesting for sure. There's going to be some cool stuff happening. But it's all going to be happening, I think, back in the bubble, not out here. If it's happening out here, I'm woefully unprepared for it, because this is not a battleship. I'm just going to be going, oh, there's Thargoids, I'm going to run away. So we'll see what happens. But what's in this system? We haven't had a look yet. It's a busy one. Okay. So one of the things I'm looking for here is planets close to the white dwarf. And sometimes you can get these binary systems with planets orbiting the barycenter, which is what this is, and they can be close, very close to the planet, to these stars, if the stars are not separated by much. In this case, however, 353 light seconds, not that far away, but these planets are 1800 light seconds away, so you're not going to get much of a view from there, unfortunately. So, not much of interest there, really. I'll probably land on a planet at some point, so I can show you what that's like. But yeah, how people react to the Thargoids is going to affect how they react to us. That's what they basically implied. I mean, unfortunately, there's a lot of people in Elite who, well, I don't know if there's a lot of people, but there are significant groups of people who like to disrupt things quite a bit. They're heavily into PvP and so on, and they don't really care what happens. So it remains to be seen whether the more disruptive elements of the community will screw this up or not. Hopefully they won't, but we'll see. There's something I'm not actually a fan of with this game. Like the original Elite games, being way back in the 80s, were not MMOs, and I'm really not a fan of this game being an MMO. But there is, at least they've given us the option of either playing in solo, which is what I'm doing, which is just you and the game and the AI, NPCs and things. Or you can play in a private group, which is you, the AI, etc., and your friends only. Or you can play in open, which is basically an MMO, where you got NPCs and things, but you also have players. I would never set foot in open. Never, ever, ever. Not my thing. I don't want this game. I don't want to play this game as an MMO. I want to play it as just me on my own, and that is my preference, and I'm sticking to it. So at best, I'd play it as a private group with people I know and trust, but that's it. So yeah, so it being, but there's this. A lot of people are in open, with all the risks and stuff that entails. And you know, it's a shared server as well, so everything that happens in open affects everybody. So you know, whatever happens with Thargoids, you know, it's going to be shaped by the people that are in open, basically, I think. So we'll see what happens. I mean, there's usually a controversy about, you know, should you play in open, should you not play in open, blah blah blah, what's better, what's worse, but I don't care for that. I am basically just,
Frameshift drive charging.
you know, I enjoy it like this. And frankly, in I mean, when you're exploring, there's 400 billion or so stars in this galaxy. If you're out in the boonies here, you're not going to encounter it. But in the bubble, it's more of an issue, because there's, especially around some systems where there are like community goals and missions and things going on. There are people that hang around and blow up traders and newbies and stuff just for kicks, basically. And I got no time for those at all. Yeah. Yeah, there are griefers and gankers and all these other idiots, and you know, like I said, I don't approve, but at least it gives me a way, this game gives me a way of not having to deal with them by playing in solo. If it didn't have a solo mode, I would not be playing this game. It would be hands down not happening. I mean, I only played World of Warcraft in PvE mode, on the PvE servers, because you know, I didn't want to do PvP. So at least they give you the option. And I think most developers should be pretty, you know, wise enough to go, yeah, you know, there's a significant group who do not like the idea of interacting with other people in computer games. They will interact with the game. So I'm glad that they do give us the option. But yeah, solo mode is basically the game as it was. Like there are no other players. There are NPCs. You can see NPC traders and, you know, wedding barges or whatever. You don't see NPC explorers, which is interesting. Now I think about it, you see the crashed remains of NPC explorers every now and then, but you don't actually see any NPC explorers out here. Maybe they are out here and it's just they're so far apart we never see them. I have never seen anyone exploring beyond the bubble, which is interesting. So a lot of these white dwarf systems are going to be quite, you know, I'm not really going to explore them. You know, like this has only got a distant star, some asteroids that are probably very nearby, and you know, the white dwarf itself. Could visit an asteroid belt. Again, the realism is not quite there. You know, I suppose these are like debris belts or something, but I will bet you that these asteroids are very close to the white dwarf. So let's reset the filter, because I usually have them turned off. And yes, they are. They're always within a few light seconds of the star. These innermost asteroid belts. Sometimes they are actually within the star's exclusion zone, and you can't actually reach them. But this one's actually further out. But let's pop in, and I can show you an asteroid belt, or an asteroid cluster. Now the part that is realistic is that their asteroid belts are just clusters. They are several groups of, you know, 5 to 10 asteroids, and that's it, which is pretty much how an asteroid belt would be. But let's see. This one's further away from the star as well, so it's easier to get to. Gotta kind of time this right. A bit hard to get into. I have to get the range within the orange thing on the bottom left here, which is mostly hidden by my webcam. But I've got to get within 1 megameter, which is 1,000 kilometers, and then drop out Super Cruise, which is what I'm doing here. And then I was locked onto its frame of reference. And I gotta remember how to do this. 3, 2. You gotta get slow enough as well to do that. And then drop out into normal space, and you'll see some asteroids. So there we are. This is your standard asteroid cluster. Yeah, the Stellar Forge, which is the thing they use to make the systems in this game, which I was going to actually explain ages ago here, but I got sidetracked, it's one of those systems where it's kind of realistic, but not always. You'll often have planets that are too close to each other, ring systems that are too big, worlds orbiting stars they shouldn't be orbiting, and so on. There's a lot of things wrong with it if you know world building. Most people wouldn't notice. Hi Brathis! Most people wouldn't notice, but you know, if you are world builders like myself, then you would notice, and it can be a bit irritating and or amusing. So I'll also show, that's the wrong button, what did I do that for? I'll also show, if I can get this to work. Right, how the hell do I switch that again? Because I haven't done this for ages. Is it that? No. That?
Frameshift
No.
drive charging.
Number 3. Cycle fire group is 1, 2, 3. Is it? Is that one? No, not that one. I'm trying to get my mining lasers out, and I've completely forgotten how to do this. There's button 3, it says. I've got my little cheat sheet of joystick stuff. One. Is it that one? No. Ah, there it is. Okay, so now that was hilarious. It just goes to show how rarely I actually use my weapons. But hopefully you will see these. You can kind of see them here. Back, down, down. Here. I wonder, would this help? Not really. Turning the lights on, but just under there, the little orange things at the bottom, those are my mining lasers. I could actually turn around, maybe get them. There we go. You can see my mining lasers at the bottom under my cockpit. You can see me at the top of the cockpit there. That's me. Just wave to the camera, except I can't. But yeah, they're my mining lasers. So, like in the old game, we can approach an asteroid Now this is going to be a bit messy because I don't have the means to actually scoop anything up. But I can mine bits off it. See, there's a little fragment of something. That fragment is gallite and coltan. So if you actually have mining stuff, like a mining laser and a refinery on the ship, and a cargo bay, I could go up to that fragment, scoop it up, chuck it in the refinery, and I will get minerals out of it that I can then sell at a station. But unfortunately, I do not. So these fragments are just going to be floating off into oblivion. But yeah, that's what you can do with the asteroids. So I can actually, oh, okay, cool. Now, yeah, so I can fly around here and explore these asteroids, which annoyingly do not show up very well on my scanner. Like you can see it there as that little blue asteroid thing there, but I don't know where the other ones are. Oh, you can also, I did show this earlier on, where is the damn thing? You can also turn on the lights. If you can see, there you see. Turning on the lights, turning off the lights. I mean, this side's illuminated by the white dwarf, but if I pop over here, and pop around, where are you? Now, where the hell was that asteroid? Ah, there it is. I can nudge closer to it. You'll see the lighting a little better. There you go. So that's being illuminated by my ship lights. And if I turn them off, you can't see it anymore. So it's a little risky. There we go. A little risky flying around here because you might bump into an asteroid in the dark.
Cannot comply.
Now I need to retract you, and then I can jump out.
Drive charging.
So that's an asteroid. You get no money for discovering them or anything, so you have no reason to visit them unless you want a nice screenshot or want to do a bit of impromptu mining out in the field. But so there you go. So I think there was nothing else in this system, really. Remember what the buttons are. You know, I've played this game for 700 hours or so. I still can't remember some of these buttons. The other thing to watch out for here is a jet coming out from the white dwarf. They can give you, if you fly into them, they can give you a boost to your jump range, but they can also damage your ship, and if you're either unlucky or careless, you can end up getting dropped out of Super Cruise into normal space while inside the jet, and then that will destroy you. Yes, you're right. Increasing the scanner range would help detect asteroids, but I forgot about that. Oops. Wrong button. Again. There's kind of two hyperspace jump buttons, and one of them gets you into Super Cruise, and the other one gets you into jump, and I keep forgetting which one's which. But yeah, increasing the scanner range, which you can do. Actually, I can show you. You see the little thing at the bottom there moving along? That will increase the scanner range. You only seem to be able to do it in normal space. You can't do it Super Cruise. Just gonna wait for my thing to cool down here. There we go. And that
Frame shift drive
good
charging.
job. You'd think I'd have some muscle memory for this. So yeah, to finish the explanation that I started a long time ago.
2,
Um,
1, engage.
This you can basically think of as a loading screen, if you want to sort of break past the fourth wall here. And it's loading up all the stuff that it has for the system that you're going to. And basically, as far as I understand it, every system in the galaxy, which is, you know, if I turn on all the stars, it's going to really mess up my route plotting, but never mind. This is all the stars in my neighborhood. Every one of these has a string of data associated with it, numbers, characters, whatever. Like I said, I think this is how it works, I'm not 100% sure. But every one of them has got a pre-generated long string of numbers associated with it. And when you jump to it, what the game is doing is looking at those numbers and going, how does that translate into system data, like planets, stars, orbital periods, blah blah blah, because they've all been kind of pre-generated randomly, or pre-generated, you know, when the game was kind of first created. And so you're essentially rolling the dice every time you jump to a new system, especially ones that have never been discovered before. You know, you're seeing what was that sequence of numbers translate to. Is there anything interesting there? And there's 400 billion or so of these systems, and people have found some really wacky stuff. I mean, you know, there's a lot of the systems are quite normal and boring, but occasionally you find things like you know, supergiants, or you find gas giants with moons that are very very close, or you have double moons that are almost touching. In one case you have moons that are in orbits that are so close that they actually cross and the moons collide with each other and pass through each other, which is technically, I guess it's a bug, but you know, that's some weird stuff you can find. There was the classic Monde de la Mort, which is a white dwarf system where you have the innermost planet is on an orbit that has an eccentricity of about 0.95, and it's such that you could actually land on the planet while it's outside the exclusion zone of the white dwarf, which normally would drop you out of hyperspace and then you can't go any further really. But you can land on the planet while it's outside, and then it will go along its orbit, which takes about 88 minutes, I think it is. And you can follow the planet in and have an incredibly close flyby of the white dwarf, like within 18,000 kilometers, which should tear the planet apart, but it doesn't, because they don't do gravity in this game. We don't have gravitational interactions. And then it swings back out again, and then you can leave when it's outside the exclusion zone. I have been to that. There is a video on my channel showing what that looked like, and it was pretty amazing. I have found a system where there was a gas giant very very close to the white dwarf, entirely within the exclusion zone. Its orbital period was 15 minutes, and you could actually see it moving around the white dwarf while you watched. So there's all sorts of wacky stuff buried in here, and it's kind of just, you know, the fun of it for me is finding those crazy systems, which is why I'm doing this white dwarf survey, because the white dwarfs seem to have more interesting systems than neutron stars, and they have you know, a bigger chance of these sort of crazy things. Well, not bigger chance, but when these crazy things happen, it looks more spectacular in these systems, because they are very cool. And I don't know if there's some kind of server lag going on here because I scanned that and it didn't say anything. Hello? There we go. So yeah, that's the that's basically how the thing works, and all those strings of numbers that represent the system were made by this Stellar Forge program, which is what they have behind the scenes that they use to make systems with, which is, well, it definitely tries to be realistic, but it fails. When it fails spectacularly. You know, it's a sort of go home and sell a 40 you're drunk kind of thing. But most of the systems are reasonable that it makes. I guess it's like, you know, I'm looking for the more extreme systems, and the more extreme systems have a greater chance of being a bit wacky. So, did we see what was in here? We didn't. So this is a fairly boring looking system. So again, let us look for that. Oh my god, what is wrong with me today? Dropping out of Super Cruise for no apparent reason now. Right, let's turn around and head
Frameshift
off.
drive charging.
And
4,
we've got
3,
the
2, 1. Engage.
got the thing targeted. So that should do it. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Pressing the wrong button again. Starts a little close there. We'll drop out. So heading off
Frameshift
again.
drive charging.
A proton main star system with a black hole in it that orbits the main star of the binary with a second big.
4, 3, 2,
Oh, there.
1. Engage.
Yeah, I guess I'm not seeing exactly how that's a derpy moment, but maybe I'm just not imagining what you're describing. Protostar with its main system with a black hole in it that orbits the main star in the binary with it. Is that not realistic somehow? I'm not seeing that. But like I said, I'm probably not getting what you're describing. Is probably what's happening. So let's see if we can find anything more interesting. Yeah. So here, you know, we've got a double planet, which again may not necessarily really be a double, but 1.9, 4.1, they are 81 days apart, so they're not terribly close. If I am going through a system and you want to actually see something, then do tell me, because then I'll divert and show you that. While I am here, are there any interesting things nearby? Doesn't look like it. So another thing you can do as well yeah, so are you thinking that a black hole shouldn't be 10 million years old? Is that what your issue with that is? Because actually they could be. Oh, or is it just too close? Oh, okay. Yeah, that is true. Like, there are some systems where you're like, really? Like, how did that even happen? A lot of these white dwarf systems, like, you got white dwarf planets that are within 20 light seconds, and you're like, how the hell is that even surviving? I could, actually, just looking at this is a realistic map mode, which is kind of showing everything. But there is a giant star down here that we could just pop in and have a look at, just for a bit of variety. Um, let's go there. And actually, if we go via these, yeah. So we'll just make a detour here and show off a giant planet, a giant star. I mean, and there are some other things I can show off for Mass there, if he's still around. But just to get a little bit of variety going, because white dwarfs all the time, spectacular as they are, could get a little bit dull. And we looked at this one, didn't we? Yeah.
Frameshift drive
So this
charging.
is going to be a neutron star. Yep, go ahead. I'm going to post that. This is going to be a neutron star, which are also quite spectacular.
1. Engage.
But their systems are less interesting usually. Because you usually don't get planets close to them. So this is a neutron star. It has a couple of planets. So again, you know, this is a star that exploded as a supernova, but it's still got a couple of planets around it. Go figure. But yeah, they're usually neutron star systems are pretty boring because most of their planets are beyond 1,000 light seconds, at which point you can't even see the neutron star anymore. So yeah, they're pretty dull really. This one, I mean, there's no moons either to land on. Let's just have a quick looky at this. Oh wow. Well, that's an interesting system. Actually, what's interesting about that is that, let's look at the one that Brathis posted, is the black hole isn't actually the primary, it's a companion. And it's got a water world around it or something? As well as all the stars. Yeah, wow, that's a wacky one. And yeah, how do I get out of that? There we go. Yeah, that's a crazy system. So neutron stars are like white dwarfs in that they have jets. They are similarly dangerous. But the boost that you get from neutron stars is considerably bigger than for a white dwarf. It's like 300% of your jump range on top of your current jump range, so 4 times in total. So they're quite good, but they also damage your ship and can destroy it. Where it gets fun is if the neutron star has a close companion star, because, and this happens with white dwarfs as well, because they spin up the white dwarf or neutron star and the jets become way more active. They end up having like 15-minute orbital rotational periods or something. Well, white dwarfs can go down to 15-minute rotation periods. Neutron stars can go down to milliseconds. So yeah. Yeah, as for your system, Brathis, probably unrealistic. I mean, just given the amount of stuff around the black hole as well. I mean, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars and 4 brown dwarfs and a water world. You know, yeah, probably a derp system, I would imagine. So anyway, this I think we scanned it already in the sidetrack. Yeah, it's got 2 planets in it, right? So this is not too spectacular. Let us move on to the next one. Wrong button again.
Warning, frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits.
So that means that in the process of moving around I accidentally clipped the jet. But that's okay. I must clip the edge of it.
Frameshift drive charging.
And no. That's interesting. I thought the red giant was
4,
a
3,
couple of jumps away.
2, 1. Engage.
Unless there was another one on the way. So, okay, well, we're going to see a red giant now. So, or am I? That isn't a red giant. What are you talking about? That is not a red giant. Why did it? Oh, because I targeted it. That's why it was targeted in here, but it still took me to the next system in the sequence. Right, that was weird. So this is a M star, an MV star. Which I can visit. Wait, what? That isn't the red giant. What are you talking about? How is that a red giant? It's like 0.46 radius. What? I think this is just a straight up bug. Yeah, because that is not a red giant. It's 4.46 solar radii, 0.27 solar masses. That's wrong. That should be an MV star. I think somebody just got the code wrong for it. What does it show up as? Oops, in the in here. M84. Oh, so it's an M subgiant. That's awesome. Because those don't actually exist. Yeah, wow, that's a messed up one. So, and you can actually see on the realistic map, stars look like this, sort of, they've got this X-shaped diffraction pattern. And the giants look like these big blobs. And it hasn't even got the shape of a giant either, so it's just weird. That's very strange. I've not seen that before. What are you? You could be interesting though. Now this, it's not a water world. Actually, if you are an M, I can just scoop up here. Get some fuel. Yeah, this must be a bug. Sometimes they get the classifications wrong and stuff, and
Fuel scooping complete.
it reports the star as being something that it isn't or shouldn't be, and this is clearly something that got messed up. No wonder I was confused. So yeah, this isn't actually a water world, but I'll go visit it anyway because it's nearby. Yeah, I've had a look at some of those big black hole systems, like the AAA ones. But every time I go to one, it's got 2 or 3 black holes in it and nothing else. Like no planets, no other stars, nothing. And they're pretty boring. So I've just been unlucky with those, I guess. I've not seen many of these systems that have the wacky combinations of things like your one. Is that maybe where I'm going wrong, that they're not in the AA systems? So, let's have a look at this red giant with its HMC world, which is not terraformable, even though it's 236k, which means it could be terraformable. Well, it looks nice anyway, if not brown. fact, if it's brown, what's its atmosphere? Carbon dioxide, right. Yeah, it's not a bad one. Kind of like that. It's a nice colour. Going to drop out. I'm almost tempted to take a screenshot actually out of the window like that, because that's quite a nice. I don't usually take screenshots from within the cockpit, but that's actually quite nicely framed. So took that. Get the ship out of the way. I can take one without the ship there. There we go. Oh, maybe hang on. The thing I hate about this camera thing, like, have a look at the hide UI in the bottom right corner. When I turn the UI off, that bit doesn't turn off until a few seconds later. So if you turn it off and then take a screenshot, you've got this stupid thing in the bottom corner. But yeah, that's quite nice. I like that one. Right, so oh yeah, I'm doing this right. So what is while I'm here? Hang on a minute while I just grab that screenshot. And put it in my folder. And note down the system name. One HMC orbiting a red giant that wasn't right. Okay, let's get that out of the way. Right, yeah, I'll have to have a look at those key systems a bit more then. I don't usually check them out. So on to the next one, which hopefully actually is a red giant. Yeah, that's very odd. Maybe it called it a red giant because it was a type 4 star or something, but even then you shouldn't have M subgiants. They do not exist. Right, this is a giant. Okay, now you can see this nice big star that we are now 136 light seconds from, and not 4 light seconds. And it is on its, no, it's got a companion, but it's way far away. So it's just red giant plus distant K star, nothing particularly interesting. So let us go back to that map and I don't really know why I'm heading back to that system in particular, because I could just be going towards that nebula maybe. But I suppose it's giving me a target to aim for. If I can find it. Yeah. Hello. I would like to plot a route to you, please. There we go. So back on the White Dwarf track. And yeah, this is awesome. No dotted line here. That means I can do however many jumps this is. 71 jumps on my one fuel tank. I do not have the fuel scoop to get to that. Now that may not be accounting for spending ages travelling in the systems or something and using up the fuel that way. But that's pretty amazing. 266,000 light seconds. Bloody hell. Was that like a O or W giant or something? Or
3, 2,
super giant?
engage.
That's crazy. Also, for a procedurally generated star, 497 radii is a bit nuts. They're usually not that big. That is pretty cool. B1 supergiant. Yeah, these are too far out. Nothing good here. So, yep, again, rolling the dice. And getting a fairly boring system as a result. Yeah, I haven't really looked for those big supergiants. They're hard to find,
Frameshift drive charging.
at least visually. Right. What is the next roll of the dice? See, I'm still looking for these close binaries, but unfortunately this lot, they've all been solo stars. Another busy system. 1.9, 1.3, 0.9, 4.6, 518 days. I'm looking for anything with a short orbital period, so these doubles. If they've got really short orbital periods, that'd be pretty cool. I did find a gas giant with a binary gas giant, and the companion had a 4-day orbital period or something, so it was really close, and that was pretty cool. But a lot of these are, many tens of days. And having gone on before that, do they actually understand the concept of Hill spheres and stuff in this game? I think they do, because looking at the orbital periods of these double planets, they do get bigger as you go further out, so it kind of implies that there is something, I don't know if it's just coincidence or they were actually aware of Hill spheres and getting bigger as you go out, that slightly encourages me. They still get the ring systems wrong, but at least they've got that kind of right. Hang on a minute. Let's have a look at that. Oh wow. That is pretty impressive. Yes. Sorry, I was wondering what you were talking about for a minute, but then I realised you were talking about what I was talking about. Is 4 days close enough to be problematic? I mean, it was It was outside the roach limit and
Frameshift
stuff.
drive charging.
Because it basically had a ring. It was a gas giant with rings, and then a few 100,000 kilometers away was the other gas giant that didn't have rings.
3, 2, 1.
But it definitely made for some very nice views. But I don't think it, in and of itself, beyond being a doubles gas giant, which I don't really know if that's entirely possible or not. But beyond that, it didn't seem, you know, too unrealistic. What we got here? Anything of interest? I wish you would remember what tab you selected. I don't care about this one. I want this one. That's a close one. So it's not landable. Ew, these are very close to each other. Well, that could be an interesting one to look at. Yeah, let's go check this out. These aren't landable, sadly, but we've got one planet or one moon with a 0.8 day orbital period and one moon with a 1.0 day orbital period, so they're going to be close. Oh, they'll probably, yeah, I mean, they'd probably stretch each other a little bit, but they're not within, if they're not within each other's roche lobes, they're not going to be pulling material off or anything. You know, it might be a little bit elongated, you know, tidal stresses going on and, you know, tidal heating, etc., sure. But beyond that, it's not, I don't think it would be fatal for any of the gas giants in that kind of setup. I don't think, I'll get close to this and then I'll show you what we're looking at. Where was it? Where was it? There it was. There we go. But yeah, I got a screenshot of it lined up, so I'll put it up once we get here to this nicely arranged system. Most things in a line except for a couple of them, which is interesting. Every now and then you get these gas giants, let's have a look actually, that have moons in crazy orbits. Oh no, that's just perspective, it's fine. So here, so we got the innermost moon on the right there, or on my right anyway. The B moon is on the left, so they're not close to each other, unfortunately. That would be really cool if they were right on the same side. But that's the one we want to check out. So I'll kill the orbit lines. I have actually found myself turning those on a bit more just to get an eye of the lay of the land of the system. How close are you? You're looking quite close. See how close this guy is. He looks very close. Oh yeah. Now that is not too bad. It's about one radius out from the rings. Now unfortunately he's not landable. We could get in the rings and have a look. visibly at all. Okay. How are you looking? He is moving. You can definitely see him, he's going that way. Gonna block out that bright star at the bottom left. There he is. Oh, that is an icy body. Like yeah, one that you can't land on, so it's got an atmosphere and stuff. Well, it's close to a gas giant, remember. So the as far as I've seen, the orbital periods are calculated realistically in this game. So it's a massive gas giant, and it's a moon that's very, very close to it. I mean, I can go get the info for it in a minute. Hang on. Yes, it is. Hang on. So this system. So 2 is a what? What's the mass? AA. What? It's a Jupiter mass gas giant. It's actually slightly bigger. It's more like 1.3 Jupiter masses. I was looking at the Excel spreadsheet for the ED Discovery outputs. So 1.3 Jupiter masses, and the moon is 1,400 kilometers across, or radius, 1,400 kilometer radius, and the orbital period is 70,000 seconds, which is 19.6 hours. So yeah, that's not unrealistic. I mean, how far did I say the orbital distance was? Did I say what the orbital distance was? Where is the orbital distance? Orbital distance. Hello, where are you? Orbital inclination. Orbital period. No, semi-major axis. There we are. Is 51,255 kilometers. So that is pretty close, really. Yeah. Where did it? Has it moved? What are you doing? You're still moving? Yeah, you are still moving. Yeah, so yeah, so it's not unrealistic. At least, you know, the numbers aren't unrealistic. I mean, whether it would actually form there or not, I don't know. But yeah, there you go. That's what that looks like. I would recommend trying to find one of these close moons and hanging out in the ring system and watching it go by, because it is quite nice. I have posted some videos of that this week. I've got another one that I'm going to post later on as well. That was just like a quiet, no commentary type one. But yeah, it's pretty nice. Let's get the heck out of here. And while I'm at it, I'm just going to show you what that looked like. So this is the 4-day orbital period gas giant thing. There we go. There's me in the rings and of this one, and then there's this gas giant over there. Yeah, those close moons are not realistic. They would definitely bugger up the ring system and pull stuff out and so on. So again, Stellar Forge being weird, but it looks nice. So this is the close gas giant pair I was talking about. It did let me get this screenshot, which I'm quite pleased with. So that's me at the other gas giant, looking back at the ringed one that I was just there in, and the star. But this is me basically dropped out as close as I could get to that ringless gas giant. So that looked quite nice. I was quite pleased with that one. But yeah, that's what that system looked like anyway. So what else is there here? Is there anything else particularly interesting? Well, that one was 1 day out, but it's not in the right spot, unfortunately. Could go visit it.
Frameshift drive charging.
Could go visit and have a look.
2, 1, engage.
Wow. Oh, it's on the other side. Fly through the shadow. So a rocky ring inside here, and then a icy ring on the other side. So here's the B moon. Yeah, this is quite neat because there's what, three moons visible here. One's just heading off the side, got the unexplored one. This is another icy body, so it's interesting to look at. It's got like a ring around the that reflective ring around the edge of it there. So that's looking out the window again. Very nice. So yeah. Oh wow. It's a lot of stars. Yeah, I think I found a system that was like that. Had like three. I don't remember if they were B stars, but they were three. Crap. 3 stars that were close to each other, with another one that was not quite in the right spot to be photographed.
Frameshift drive charging.
Right, on to the next one. So yeah, getting actually near the end of the stream. But it's been fun. It's not many spectacular targets, but yeah, I've definitely been talkative. Good to see folks in the chat. What we got here? More gas giants. Again, that's another close one. It's another close one. Another icy body though. Alright. Just to get some variety, I feel we'll skip those. Get out of the way.
Frameshift drive charging.
Look. Hit the jet again. I'm good. I'm good. It's all good. We'll probably have to do a system repair at some point, like a module repair. Should see where my percentages are on that one. Yeah, you look at this all active. My modules, 86% on the drive. 713 light seconds, that's where you are down there. But no planets. Could have been a good one. Nope. I mean, the good thing about these systems is that you know, I can refuel at them if I needed to, but I don't actually need to refuel. Hopefully avoid the jet. Yeah, I would like the atmospheric landings to happen.
Frameshift drive charging.
Like I said, I think last time, you know, you could find all these like white dwarf systems and they've got 4 or 5 icy bodies in them and nothing else.
4, 3,
and a lot of those icy bodies would have, you know, atmospheres that were not too thick, like, you know, 0.01 to a couple of atmospheres pressure. So you could land on them. Yep, sure, think away. You could land on them, but there's no reason to right now, and we can't do that anyway. So make things a bit more interesting once we have that in there, for sure. Like this, you know, I've got no reason to visit any of these systems, or any of these planets. Yeah, that's 413 days out, that's ridiculous. They're too close, or too far apart, so again, nothing clear. Okay. That's very engineered. And enhanced performance. What's that? Thrusters, I guess. Yeah. Oh, your massive, ridiculous ammonia weld. Yeah, I remember you showing me that one. That is just bonkers. It's 2/3 the mass of Jupiter, for crying out loud. No wonder it's got a gas giant around it. Well, yeah, good luck with that one. No, you don't.
Frameshift drive charging.
Yeah, I remain unconvinced that the thruster class and type and so on is actually matters in terms of taking off from planets. It might matter when trying to stop being pulled down by them, but I think no matter what thruster you have, I think you would be able to always get off the ground. Because I don't think they really account for that. Here's what we're looking for. Ah, god damn it. Come on. Got a close binary but no planets. That's annoying. So yeah, we got spun up white dwarf, because you can tell because of the jets being ridiculously bright. And a nearby star. And ideally we would have had a planet orbiting these at, I don't know, 50, 60 light seconds, and that could have been awesome. But we don't. So you get to the point where neutron stars, the white dwarf looks like a neutron star really, which is pretty neat. There. Go away from you. That's kind of cool. Almost what we want.
Frameshift drive charging.
Again, click the jet. Thank you. Right. So I passed the star there, but I didn't. I don't think I did anyway. No. Maybe it's planet. I don't know. Again, meh. 15 days. No, that's too far out. Nothing terribly exciting on this one. I should probably start looking for a landable planet to set down on. We can end the stream. But this has been fun. Light years away. Yeah, well, the dream is to land on Earth-likes, isn't it? But that is not going to happen for a while. I can't imagine how they're going to do it, to be honest. I mean, how are they going to have this world that you can land on at any point, but it's got life on it and atmosphere, right? Yeah, well, you're gonna do it sort of No Man's Sky kind of like. I mean, that would be ridiculous. I suppose they could do it like that. But how would that work? Oops. No, go away. Slow down. There we go. Thank you. Accelerated a little bit there. A bit too close to the white dwarf. Anything? Ooh, interesting. How far away are you? You're too far away. Nothing interesting, really. Next. Actually, I am looking for landables, so. Should be away from there. Yeah. Should be alright. I was getting quite close there, the heat was quite high.
Frameshift drive charging.
Oh wow.
4, 3, 2,
That's pretty
1.
crazy actually.
Engage.
We've got one that is actually at the right distance around a triple star and a double star to be Earth-like. That's pretty impressive. Finding all these interesting systems. Again, no planet here. Yeah, that's bonkers. And that's another one of these incredibly unlikely setups that may not be as spectacular as a close planet to a white dwarf or something, but it's still bloody rare, so good on you for finding that one. This is all stars. Yeah, this is all stars. Rumble, rumble. Not too far out. So how far? Oh, yeah. How far away was that planet from? I don't know what its orbital distance would be. 4 AU. Yeah. Huh. So you wouldn't. 4 AU away. It wouldn't be. I mean, 4 AU is what the. 2 and a bit thousand light seconds, so the stars would be a bit small, but yeah, it would still be pretty cool to look at for sure.
Frameshift drive charging.
Okay, landable planets, where are you? Right. So if it doesn't give me 10 systems that don't have any now, I won't actually land. That's what it usually does. I should have something. Are you kidding me? All these moons not landable. God damn it. No, you're landable. You'll do. You're a bit far from the gas giant, but rather than spend another 10 minutes looking, I think I'll just head over there, really. So I don't know what I'm going to do next week. Could, if I mean the fallback, the fallback is Elite. If I can't find anything else to do, and if I can't find any other games to play that are of interest. But if I do find any other interesting games to play, I will say so on the Twitch feed and Twitter, so keep an eye on those. But if I don't, I will carry on with Elite on Saturday. So remember, there's no stream during the week anymore. There's no Tuesday afternoon or Tuesday evening streams. So yeah, Saturday will be either Elite or other games. Right. Well, let's get to landing. Right. Let's get to burning going through my head now. Which was a theme song from an anime thing. What was it? Was it Martian Successor? Disco or something like that? Yeah, something like that. Anyway, digression. Where's our moon? Guess that's our moon, eh? Another one? A landable one? Either they're all landable. That's fine. Okay. Let's park here. I think it's a fast rotator as well. End where we began, except around a ringed fast rotator. Oh, I see, yeah. It's like a big, I'd almost say it's like a big lake that got frozen over, but that's interesting. Was that like at the pole or something? Ooh, that's nice. Coming in.
Orbital flight engaged.
Get away from the nasty skybox lighting, hopefully. Right, here we go. Coming in for an end. That's rather nice. That means I can actually end the stream vaguely on time. Right. Be a nice view. finish the stream and get some lunch because I'm hungry. So I will perch jauntily on the edge of this precipice. It's a very big precipice actually. It's quite a nice canyon.
Landing gear deployed.
Coming up to the edge. Well, thanks for tagging along on this one. Oh, that's nice. That's a very nice view. We got any landable spots here? Bump. Slight bump. Maybe I can get that way a bit. That could be nice. Can I get even closer to the edge? Getting a bit too sloped. I want to kind of go. That's a good view, but the surface is getting a bit slopey. I'm also banging up my shields a bit just from the. Yeah, it's getting a little too angled. Go down there maybe. That could be good. We can park horizontally on this bit. Bit unlikely, but maybe there's a bit of the shoulder that I can do that on. No. Sadly, there is not. Like it anyway. No, yay. No. Anyone over here? Come on, give me a flat surface. Come on. It's a good view. No, it's not going to happen, is it? Not going to happen. Okay, so let's pop up. Let's go over here. Let's see if we can get. Should have taken that first parking spot, really, shouldn't I? The landing radar is not helping me here. Come on. Give me something good here. That's the sort of angle I need to be at here. Yep, I'll have to just get on the upper surface here. I could actually could, I was going to say, actually pull out a bit. Oops. Damn it. Pull out sideways a bit. Oh, come on. I can't. 250 meters away. Okay, well, I'll just do that then. Yeah, something like that. Fuck. What are my fingers here? Come on. Yeah, it'd be nice if you could cut a spot for landing. Right. Pressing the wrong buttons all day today. It's ridiculous. I think that might do. There we go. So, on that note, finally, I will leave it there. So, thanks for joining me. Like I said, next week I don't know what's going on. If I can't think of another game, I'll just keep doing Elite Dangerous. But keep an eye on the Twitter and the Twitch feed. So yeah, well, that is that. Do a goodbye there. Thank you for joining me, and we'll see you next time. So 07 Commanders.